All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to PreMarket Prep. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible weekend. Good morning, Peter. I know you had an incredible weekend the last couple of days. Good morning. How you doing today?
Well, yeah, it was the end of last week, and good morning. That was pretty awesome. The weekend was more about travel to try and get home, which was arduous, let me tell you. But last week was fantastic in San Diego. We got to meet so many old members and a lot of new members as well, joining us for the first time. We were so happy that there were so many new faces in the crowd. So, but it was a great session, a lot of fun. We had a great social event on the Thursday night, and then just hanging around with everybody, live trading on Friday morning. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Excellent. I'm glad to hear you guys were able to enjoy yourselves. Also, I saw plenty of pictures and video of you guys having what seems to be an incredible a time and a nice turnout. So glad to hear that, my friend. Um,
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get right to it. Looking at our gappers list over here, we have a couple of things in the green, a couple of things in the red, but for the most part, a pretty quiet morning so far. And I think that's because we're all waiting for JP, our friend, Jerome Powell, to do his thing, right? So I think the market's kind of at a standstill in the last couple of well, this pre-market session. The last 2 days, we've seen some really nice moves here, as you can see on the SPY. We'll see what that means for us today and the coming days. Peter, let's head right over to news, kind of see what's happening for today and this week.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of economic news happening today, but well, at least not in North America. So let's start internationally. Globally, over the weekend, it's been a pretty quiet weekend, which is good. This morning, we're seeing mixed reports in the futures. Everything's hovering around zero, slightly green or slightly red. Out of the European Union, we did have a bunch of negative financial information. Checking trading terminal calendar, I can see that we had retail sales, global construction. What is this? The sentiment numbers all down across the European Union. Interestingly, in the UK, those numbers are generally positive. I'll say overnight because it's overnight for us, but it was Monday morning in Europe. So, again, a little bit of mixed bag coming out globally. As you sort of alluded to, and the title on YouTube suggests, in North America, it does feel like we are in a period of wait. Powell testifies on behalf of the U.S. Fed testifies tomorrow to the Senate and then Wednesday to the House. So basically, there's two opportunities for Powell to say something that freaks us out and makes the markets go crazy. There isn't
Yes.
expected to be any surprises, right? I mean, the Fed has been very strong about what they're going to do. They've been clearly indicative of how they want to manage, the financial situation and handle interest rates. So, we don't expect anything, but you never know, right? They might get some screwball question or, sort of go off script. And if Powell does that, then we could see a lot of fun. Both of those happen at 10 o'clock, respectively, tomorrow and Wednesday. So just be aware of that. But today we got factory orders at 10, but again, that's not expected to have a market impact. So we'll see what happens. We got a lot of earnings out there. Like there's a lot of stuff moving, but it's not any of the, I would say, the large cap stocks that we tend to watch. Yeah, like checking our earnings, there's tons of stuff on the calendar, but it's all second and third tier type companies, right? That we just typically don't day trade because they don't trade very well with volume. We'll certainly be talking about Tesla later. It's probably the only major stock I'm seeing moving right now, and we'll get to why that is in a few minutes.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Peter. All right, guys, let's get right to it. Let's look at our situation now and look at some of the stuff we have on our gap up list. Starting with BBIO. So BBIO this morning, leading the gap up list this today, up 53%. Interesting pre-market activity, very active as you can see here. I'm not sure what's the news on this, Peter. Do we have anything good on it for today?
Yeah, so this is a biotech company, and biotech usually only has one of two things, right, that cause these types of jumps: FDA approvals, or in this case, positive phase two results. So you either get positive results from a drug trial again, or they get approved for something. In this case, drug trial was seen as a very positive outcomes, and that's why we're getting this jump this morning.
All right, nice pop for them again today, up quite a bit here, 56%. I don't know how well this is going to trade, but it's definitely in play, at least worth taking a look at. I'm going to go ahead and add it here to our list as a possible for now and see where this takes us on this news that it has 3 million shares traded already. So we got definitely quite the volume there. Let's see if we can get something out of this. Next on the list is going to be Kala, Kala, and this is a 1.2 million shares flow. So a little bit on the lower side of things here, low flow, and they're up 26% this morning. Let's get them over on the charts. Here we go. Up 27% and 895,000 shares traded. So quite a bit of volume there. They did the same thing. Looks like on Friday, they also had a nice pop there as well. And if we zoom into that action, looks like there was nothing going on. And we either got some news or something here, Peter, that's creating this momentum that we saw on Friday. Started with some very light volume, which can be concerning, and then picked up pretty nicely towards the end of the day there. Today, they're showing
Yeah,
some volume off, as you can see here in the pre-market.
they reported earnings in this case, full year earnings, which were very positive. Keep in mind, 1.4 million float, right? So this is a
Yeah.
super low float, easy to move. Look, it may be a good trader today. We'll see. But yeah, I'd be very cautious and throw it probably down on my secondary if I'm going to take a look at it at all.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the pre-market action now. I mean, we had the initial pop creating the high. We tested that again not so long ago, a little bit lower this time, and we're back down here again. So even for a low flow stock, we like to see that ABCD pattern forming nicely here. We're not seeing that right now on this one. Spread is a little wide there, so be careful for a $20 stock. I saw 20, 19 cents earlier, a little bit less now, but just be aware that if you are going to trade this. Right now, I agree with you, Peter. It's not even worth putting on our secondary list at the moment. We'll skip on it. We'll come back to it if it becomes something worth watching. Right here, CIEN right now, they are up 11.6. We've seen this ticker plenty of times on our list. It's not a great one, but this morning they're gapping up quite a bit here today. Anything good on this?
Yeah, so this is also earnings. They quite handily beat their earnings, so very positive earnings results for them, which is causing the jump up.
All right, excellent. Again, pretty. Oh man, look at this drop here, guys. By the way, we went from 55 just now down to 53.63 in a matter of about 2 seconds or so. So again, if you're looking to trade this pre-market, be very, very careful. This is very wild right now with a spread of I saw almost 80 cents. It fixed a little bit now, but yeah, just be careful with this thing. All right, let's take a look here at Laser. Laser was on our, at least on our discussion on Friday. They are up this morning 7.4, 266,000. They had a nice breakout on Friday. Today they're making some noise again. I forget what the news was on this that caused them to pop, or at least be on our radar last week.
I don't even remember talking about them last week. I'm sure it was really exciting, the news, and you were
It
very
was so
excited
exciting,
about
you just had to
it.
erase it from your mind.
I'm not. I'm not seeing news on Friday. I mean, earlier in the week, they certainly had some news about a new deal that they were signing.
Hmm.
But I mean, they are. Don't forget this company. I mean, maybe what I should say is this company is actually a key part supplier for EVs, primarily EVs, because they're doing sort of high tech lidar and other equipment. So it could very well be that there's some secondary news I'm just not seeing, because the EV sector is continuing to see a fair amount of movement. Again, Tesla leading the way. We'll talk about in a few minutes. But other than that, yeah, if you guys know what's going on, let me know. A deal with Mercedes. I see Manfred saying, but that was news from mid last week. So why it's moving now. I know. Again, maybe there's some backside news on that I'm just not seeing in the as articles against it at the moment. Oh, did we lose Carlos?
I'm here. Maybe I
There
was
you
on mute.
go.
There you go. Um,
Yeah.
next one on deck here, guys, is CRWD. This is CrowdStrike, and they don't, for me, they don't trade very well. I think they're very light on volume, and normally I stay away from these guys. Today they're up for 5.2, and this is typical action for them to be up this much and only 171,000 shares traded. So I don't like that type of volume. I usually stay away from this, but I know some people in the community do like this one, Peter. Any news worth mentioning?
This is one that I always like want to move really well, and then it doesn't. But anyways, they do have news. They've signed a deal with Dell, a cybersecurity deal. So that's what's getting a pop. They do have earnings coming up, but that's not until the close tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll see. I mean, again, I'm with you. It's one that it's no matter how many times I watch it, it doesn't trade well, and I typically stay away from it. That's some good news though. Partnering up with Dell, that can be very good for these guys today. Maybe a possible next to Kala. Again, we will see if this thing does anything as we move closer to that 9:30 time frame. Let's take a look at the next one on our list is XM, and these guys are up 2.3 this morning. So if we look at XM here, up 2.3 with a 465,000 shares traded, but a very ugly 465,000 shares. So that doesn't look good at all. Definitely want no parts of this ticker. Looks like it trades horrible too. What is it? Quatrix International? Not sure what it is, and I don't know if I want to know what it is. So um, let's move down to the next one on here, unless you have something worth reviewing on this.
No,
We'll
not
move down
really.
to the
Yeah.
next one here. Yeah. Let's check out our gap down is a ACRS. And these guys, man, these guys are down quite a bit. They're down almost 40% here. Horrible pre-market activity, 949,000 shares traded, and some weird symbols on our montage here. I know some we have units for sure, but I don't know what this TU symbol means here. So it was halted, looks like, and now it's resumed again. So
Oh.
yeah, not sure what's going on with it, but at the moment, guys, it's not looking good. Anyways, I mean, it looks very choppy here. It doesn't trade well. You can tell by the daily. It also seems to be a little bit all over the place. So again, one that I'm gonna probably stay away from as well. Let's look at SI now. SI, we've been definitely
Do
talking
you,
about this one. Yeah,
I'm just curious, Carlos. Do you have
yeah.
a back on that one? ACRS, you said?
ACRS, yes, down
Huh.
40%.
Okay, I thought you said you had a U there. Now it's looking like mine because I was looking. It was different because this one had been halted at some point and then has
Ah, it went
restarted. I
away.
just see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
went away. Yeah. So now
All
it
right.
looks like maybe something was updating there. But yeah, um,
All
again,
right.
just
Good.
careful with this one. Looks ugly right now. And I don't think it's going to get any better based on their history of their overall trading days here.
Mhm.
Now to SI. Now this is down 9.4 today. This thing gapped down huge last week with information about possibly going out of business. So that obviously didn't was not taken well by anyone that's somewhat trading this stock at all. So today they're down on 9.5, a million shares traded. It's this was a hit or miss. It was very active on Friday. So if you were watching this one on Friday, you did get some opportunities here. I'm always concerned trading these lower price stock, especially with that type of news. I mean, you can get into some serious hot type situation that might get you stuck for a while. So I'm concerned with trading something like that that might tie up my capital.
Yeah, and this is the rats fleeing the ship syndrome, right? So once they announce concerns over their viability into the future, we're seeing it this morning, right? A number of crypto exchanges are now suspending deposits and funding from that bank. Bybit is the most recent one. We're seeing downgrades. I mean, a little late for a downgrade, right? But hey, welcome to the world of industry analysts. But anyways, and just more news is uh, more people are interested in the story, so they're digging in deeper, and of course, ripping apart their balance sheets and saying what went wrong, and so you've got all that sort of these people that jump on the bandwagon to try and take it down. And existing partners start to try and get out of the way. So SI is just going to continue a slide here with the negative news.
Yeah, it's just not fun here at all right now for this one. Let's head over to the next one on our list, WDS, and this doesn't look great at all. Looks like probably a couple of block trades that were transmitted here at least, and then we got down 3.3, 476,000. But again, doesn't look great. Not a great trading ticker at all on the daily. Nothing past 1 million shares traded in the last couple of weeks. So again, not worth watching this one. Woodside Energy looks like an energy ticker there. Let's go to the
Yeah,
next
it's
one. Mhm.
oil and gas company out of Australia. So, but everything you said is on point.
Yeah, yeah, no, no good for us. And then we have Rio here. Rio down 3%, 110,000 shares traded, and this thing so I always forget. Is it a oil mining company? I forget what Rio
Yeah,
is. Yeah, it's
they're
like
Rio
Brazilian,
Tinto.
maybe. I always forget.
Yeah,
Um,
Rio Tinto. So they're the
yeah,
second largest multifaceted mining company in the world after BHP Billiton. Again, and a sector that doesn't tend to trade fairly well.
yeah,
We're seeing some news generally just about the price of commodities, which is why I think we're seeing this. Right, there's sort of lowering prices in some sectors. I just can never trade them. I don't understand. They should theoretically these should trade fantastic. There's a lot of interest. They've got volume, but it's just not working. So
yeah, yeah. So not looking good there, guys. We'll skip on that one as well. Wow, slim pickings, my friends, this morning. There is not a whole lot that's coming off our gappers list that looks great today. And it's again, it just seems like a quiet start to the trading week. Peter, anything you like on your end this morning that's looking decent?
well, I mentioned Tesla earlier, so I'll go right there. Tesla is looking very interesting to me. We've got some volume pre-market. It's the only thing, frankly, on the majors that's got some good pre-market volume, but it usually does. They've cut prices in North America again, so on two of their models, the Model S and Model X. So we're seeing the rumors are that that's going to spur a price war. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Tesla hasn't been sort of price competitive with other manufacturers. That hasn't been sort of where they position themselves. But when they start cutting prices, that may have an impact. So that's the news today. That's going to affect Tesla. Frankly, I don't know whether it's going to affect them positively or negatively, right? Because the reason why the rumored reason, it's unconfirmed from the company, is that they're seeing a declining backlog. So they want to increase the backlog by trying to make it more affordable to those to everybody. So we'll see what it actually does. I mean, it's a double-edged sword from a perception of stock value, right? Because if they increase their backlog, that's good for the company. Cutting prices means lower front-end revenue. So the stock could react either way. It really depends how the market perceives it. And we see right now we got some good volume, right? 2.3 million shares, but we're only up 0.5%, half a percent, which means this could really go in either direction. So I think it's going to be a great trader. I just don't know where it's going to go. The only other one, let's see, what else do we mention? The only other one that I had was a member in our chat room mentioned PSTG, and thought it would be worth mentioning. Earnings play, they beat their numbers quite handily, but had some lower guidance. You can see PSTG over the last few days really been on a downslide with a gap down late last week in advance of earnings. So here they're sort of popping back up. I mean, usually the guidance governs it, right? So the fact they had good earnings but low guidance would normally take a stock lower. But being that they already had such a move previously, this could be a bounce day just because the move might have been overstated compared to what the results actually were when they came out. So thank you. I can't remember. It's gone up in the chat here because we had so much conversation happening in the chat, so I can't remember who mentioned it. But thanks for pointing that out because it sort of looks okay. Like the price action doesn't look fantastic, but worth keeping an eye on. But that's it. That's all I've got. You're on mute again, Carlos.
Sorry about that. For me, this won't be able to fit my criteria, so I'm gonna skip on it. But yeah, very very quiet morning as we get started here. We're looking to our usual suspects and what you guys have on both chats here, both on YouTube and also on our members tab here. If you haven't done so on YouTube already, please hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it very much. Maybe that can wake up this gappers list and give us some stuff to actually trade, get some volume running in here as we get rocking and rolling
Yeah.
this Monday morning.
Okay. Now I see members in both our chat and on YouTube starting to talk about Meta. Yeah, I mean it's got a little over a million, 1.2 million shares. Price action, I'm not loving it. Like it's really slight, tiny little candles. I mean it's on a steady up, climbing up right now. But
Yeah.
hey, look, you know what? Compared to everything else we have on the list, yeah,
This
it's
looks great.
might as well, right?
This looks amazing, really, compared to everything else. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I do like the volume today, the 1.2 million. That is a lot more than usual for Meta here.
But
So
yeah, and it's funny because when I say I don't see much moving in the majors, there's volume out there. Like Meta's got
yeah,
volume. I don't know. There's something about the price action I don't love the look of.
the candles,
AMD
yeah,
that I love to watch. One point, almost 1.2 million shares as well. Also doesn't look that good.
yeah, it
So
looks pretty bad.
which tells me they're probably going to move as the market opens. But like we were saying, keep in mind Powell is speaking tomorrow and Wednesday, right? Testifying in front of the Senate and House respectively. So I do think the market's going to be in a little bit a period of wait. Doesn't mean nothing will happen. It just means we're probably not going to get big, massive moves as people wait to see what if anything changes from those two testimonies.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Our our friend over on YouTube, Melanie, was saying that it should just be a holiday until Powell speaks, and I agree with that. We should just be closed and then open on the day that he's going to speak. Get the markets moving again. So Meta is good, guys. I like Meta. I like what I'm seeing here as far as everything else. It looks decent. So I'll add that to the list. I see a lot of you guys throwing out Apple. Let's take a look at Apple today. Apple looks decent pre-market, but I'm with you too. And again, heavy volume, 1.3 million shares traded, looking much better than some of the other stuff we've been looking at lately. I really like Apple's daily here though, so definitely I like that there quite a bit. So going to add Apple to the list this morning. I think that looks decent, and I think if we're going to get any type of movement, kind of started or by the SPY, I think your usual suspects are going to do well. Your Apple, your AMD, your Nvidia, the stuff that we've been watching for quite some time. I mean, the only one right now that looks like nothing has changed is Tesla. A little bit less volume than what we're seeing in the pre-market. A couple of pre-markets before has been 3.9 by now, 4 million and higher. So a little bit lower there, but nevertheless 2.4 is still quite decent. Um, Nvidia is another one you guys are throwing out. Let's take a look at that one. I see that on both chats here. So let's take a look at Nvidia. Um, Nvidia doesn't have compared to everything else like an AMD, Meta, Apple, the volume is actually lighter, but their daily it's much better with the way they're sitting up here looking to break out of this area of resistance. We had two really good days on this thing. If you guys remember, was it Friday? It was AMD and Nvidia took off on Friday, or no, I believe it was Thursday.
I think it was
Thursday was the
Thursday. Yeah.
day. Yeah, I think it was traveling, and Thursday it was just an incredible day or so. So, yeah, I'll add NVIDIA on deck as well. We'll put that on here. We'll see where that goes for today.
The only other
Um,
place I should mention, because we don't tend to talk about it, but
yeah,
yesterday on Friday when we were at the live session, I know there's a lot of conversation, especially between Brian and Jared, about oil and oil futures. Energy has, as a sector, has been moving a lot. So whether you watch UNG or Boyle or any of those sort of sector indices stocks, they had a good move. I mean, Boyle, there's a good example right there, right? Look at the pop it had on Friday. We're seeing it sort of down this morning. So, and down significantly. Look at that, 22%. So, anybody that took advantage of that pop, I hope they got out. Natural gas was another one that was moving. Yeah. So, said energy sector was getting a lot of movement on Friday. And it looks like it's retracing all of that and more today. So, um, that, again, not a sector I actively trade, but if you're looking at futures or you're looking at, oil and gas, energy sector, it might be worth turning your attention to it.
yeah, I couldn't agree more. I know there's so many people that were trying to time this bottom and get in. Hopefully, they were not chasing it here. It depends on your strategy, long term wise, but yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people thinking, "What the heck is going on here?" I just got into this trade for the breakout, and now I'm down a couple of bucks. So, very careful as you're looking to time the bottom on some of these. I know that's been talks a lot to a lot of the channels here. Yeah. So, what else we have, guys? So let's look at Baba. I see Baba being thrown out here. We'll look at Amazon next. I saw that also on YouTube. Baba this morning. We are pretty much flat right now. So I don't, as you guys know, I don't like Baba flat. I like either gapping down or up. I think the move could be a lot better when it's in that situation. Right now it's pretty much flat, so it's really not one that for me I notice it doesn't trade as well as it does in the gap ups and gaps down, where it tries to either close that gap or continue. It could do either one, but right now, not really one that's setting up nicely for what I would like to look for on this one. Um, let's see what else you guys are looking at here. I said Amazon. We'll take a look at Amazon there. Amazon this morning, again, pretty much flat as well, just like everything else, without the volume though, compared to Apple, Meta, and AMD. So I think we just have to wait to see what the market's going to bring us today and see what out of our usual suspects, which ones are going to get the move. Amazon could be one of them. They trade very well. We've seen them do that in the past a couple of times. Very similar to, I forgot the ticker we spoke about last time, where we've seen their candles in the last couple of days just kind of really flatten out a little bit here, right? So we're not getting these big, nice candles that we were here in December and sorry, January and it's part of December and so forth. We're not getting these nice moves. So that can mean you're not getting this fluid continuation. Even part of January and February, you got some of that action as well. A couple of days looking really good here. If you look at this very, very small days in the last few weeks. So besides Friday, obviously, they ripped pretty nice there. So maybe a possible on Amazon. Again, today will be a day where we'll be looking at some of our usual suspect and see what else we can get out of these. Over on YouTube, let's pick up a few more. Then we'll head over to an announcements for the week. Let's look at Becky and we'll look at Microsoft. And Becky has earnings this week. Is that what you're telling me? Becky, yes, earnings on the 9th. So that'll be interesting. Maybe then it'll be in play. Right now, it's really dead, guys. And look at the volume on this one, Peter. By the way, speaking of something with volume and not doing nothing at all,
There you go.
uh, this
Yeah,
one
five
has
million, right?
quite a
I mean,
bit.
it's 5
Yep.
million non-tradable shares. Like
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah. So
I
somebody.
think earnings are coming up, but it's in like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
16th.
So it's not one for us to look at right now. All right, let's guys, let's head over to announcements. We'll give you the full rundown for the week, what's expected out of the community, and then you guys can make sure to set your calendars and be able to catch some of the stuff that's happening in the community.
Just maybe before we get there, I just want to
Yeah.
say again, that session we had, the live session. I want to thank all of the members and all our new people who joined us there and visited and talked trading, attended the seminars. It was fantastic. You got to love that because people share their passions with us. So shout out to all of the members that sort of started up conversations or shared what they were passionate about. Nate showed up. He's a car guy. He rented a Lamborghini Urus, which is the SUV. I got to say, if you've never driven like a high-end souped-up SUV, that was quite something to go touring around the hills of California in that. Terry, who's a fantastic member when he's not trading, makes jewelry through his company, and he gave us all some jewelry. You may notice I was wearing this today, custom made for me out of a $5 silver coin. It was pretty cool. So I decided I'm going to wear this as I trade today. Bring me some trading luck. But and so many other members that were there and just shared what they do with us. So it's so much more about trading, right? Trading can be very lonely when you're sitting at home, which is why we like to do the pre-market show on YouTube to try and invite more people to say don't trade alone, right? I mean, having a community around you, just having people to talk with who understand what you're going through can be worth a lot. And those live sessions bring it all home and really give us a chance to sort of talk in more depth with individuals. So thank you to everybody who attended. And surely there's going to be another one. We don't have it planned yet, but guaranteed there always will. And maybe we'll be able to see you at that. All right, so back into the room and what we normally do every week. It's Monday, which means we're onboarding new members. And if you want a refresher on anything to do with our chat room or just trading in general, or you're brand new to the community or trading, then it's time to join the onboarding session, which is in the classroom hosted by Carlos at 8 o'clock, as it is every Monday. Hopefully we'll see you there. Tuesdays, we move our focus to strategy. I'll be presenting tomorrow night on trading into the close, which we try and do every day. In fact, I wasn't even trading on a couple of days, and I know our members continue to trade this strategy, those that have started to look at it, which is awesome. So we'll talk about how I see it, how it sets up, and what to look for if you wanted to take part in that. Then we're still figuring out what next week is, but the week after we'll have Andrew and Carlos. I guess we'll have to get that sorted.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get with the right parties to get that info in there.
We'll figure it out. Wednesdays are about psychology, and as I mentioned, love Creta, love what she does and her perspective. She's going to talk about how faulty thinking leads to messing up your trades, and it's an early time. Just keep that in mind. So this Wednesday, 5 p.m., not 8, 5 p.m. Eastern time or market time. That'll once again, as always, be in the webinar room, and she'll talk psychology. The week after, Mike will be back with us talking about how to show yourself the money. Please, please, anybody that's there, tell him he's got to use the line, right? Say the line, make him do it. So, anyways, that'll be a lot of fun next Wednesday. On Thursdays, it's about mentorship, and we've got, as always, this week, John back with us, and Thor. We're all back from being in California, so back to the regular schedule with those in the webinar room at 11 and 8 p.m. respectively. Want to say hi to Lore, who's in our chat room, who just said it's going to be his first day trading live. So take it easy, Lore. Don't force anything. I know, like most of us, right, when we get our first day, it can be exciting and you really want to make it all work. But, hey, take it as it comes and only take the trades that match your setup. I see, Carlos, you've got Trading Terminal up there. And while we were at the live session, Artie, who's the CEO of Trading Terminal, made an announcement that I have to say tickled me to no end and that I'm already using, where he announced the dark mode is now active. So after years and years of Andrew giving me a hard time about having black charts, the organization has finally seen the light by popular demand. You now have dark mode. If you want to access that, by the way, click on your avatar down in the bottom left corner, and you can then call up dark mode, which basically turns the screen black instead of having it all as a white background. So I think it looks sharp, and it's certainly something I'm going to use because I like the black charts. So there you go. We got Craggy Rider, Yahtzee, Mayal saying happy about that. Thank you for the introduction. So there you go. Just functionality and features coming every single day. If you want to use Trading Terminal, I mean, there's a ton of information, from the insider information you see to the scanners to the calendar information, which obviously I've been using this morning to see what's happening around the world as well as in North America. And you too can get that, including the scanners that we use during the market and simulator and live replay. So if you want to use any of those functions, Trading Terminal is your one-stop shop place to go. And if you want to join us in the chat room, we love having new members. We love seeing people here. You can do it on a trial basis. Use the code PreMarket24 to get a discounted rate just for everybody here. You can use that as an intro. Oh my God, it's even better. Is it free, Carlos? I don't even know.
I think it's the first time I'm seeing that too. That must be new, my friend.
That must be new. Look at that. We're obviously not even in the know. So there you go. You want to join on a limited basis? You get a sort of 1 week intro. Join now. It's completely free. At least that's what it promises. If it's not, then you let us know, and we will make sure it is, because that's what the website says. That's what we will give you. So
Don't
for a
hesitate.
limited time, join us. Just try it out. Right? We know that not every community is for every trader, but we've got such a broad, inclusive community. I mean, I have to say, when you looked around the room, it had people from all walks of life, gender mixes and everything. So, trading, it doesn't matter who you are, right? It's an even playing field in trading. So when we invite all to join us. If you wanted to join on a longer term basis, then use our basic elite, or the best deal, the elite annual, which gives you a discount off of the monthly rates. So hopefully you will think that a great value and want to join us here on a regular basis. So with that, let's set some levels and see what our moderators are looking at.
Yes, absolutely. Let's take a look at what's happening, guys. And don't hesitate on that deal. Who knows if that's a mistake and it's going to go away. So I would jump on that right now, sign up and get it going.
Indeed.
All right, excellent, guys. Let's dive in here. So right now, my list made up of Tesla, Meta, Apple, Nvidia. Again, all looking pretty decent this morning. I think they are going to get better as things move along here. Hopefully. Let's set some levels and then we'll come back and we might have a little bit of time towards the end and see what other questions you guys might have that we can get into. Let's start with Tesla, guys. This thing is up 2.6, and again, great volume this morning, heading back towards the previous day close. Looks like it was up about 1%. That kind of dropping down a little bit here. As far as levels, this will be an easy one because if you look at the price action right now, we're surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Low of the pre-market 196.95. 92 actually. We'll put a level there, and then we'll slam another level towards the top here at 199.60. And once you do that, you're pretty much set here towards the bottom of your cover. We just need one more level towards the top. If we're going to get any kind of breakout, we want to have a level set here. And on the daily, you could tell 202.18. That area there has a lot of touches on the daily here. A couple of days opening and closing right around that level as well. So tons of action at that 202.18. And let's head down over to Tesla, to Meta. Meta here as well. Again, great day on Friday. Beautiful rip here. Gapped up and just kind of crushed it. And today they're up another 1.5 with some significant volume, guys. 1.2 million shares traded. So we got Tesla looking good. Meta is actually looking good. We'll see how this looks. I know you're talking about, Peter. The candles look a little bit weird. They don't look fluid. 100% agree with that. Hopefully that changes by the market open. Up 1.5. Here we have a level of high of the pre-market at 188.30. Above this, we do have another level at 195, 190.65. And then just in case, 193.86. If we get anything like we did on Friday, this can be a whole lot of fun today. Towards the bottom, below the previous day close, you're going to find your low of your pre-market at 184.60. And then below that, a couple of more levels here at 182.85 of these 2 days here. And then a beautiful level here, which has been tested quite a bit here. It's going to be a 180.53. So once you put that there, I think you are pretty much set on a Meta with a beautiful pre-market activity this morning. Apple 1.5 million, also great volume. We'll remove some of the levels we had on Friday. As you can see here, the nice rip that we got there. And once we do that, we have our high of our pre-market over at 154.01. We put a level there. And then towards the bottom, guys, our low of the pre-market is 152.05. And in between that action, we do have about 1 or 2, maybe 3 days at 152.91 here, here, and here. So a couple of days we want to mark down just because we do see some action around there. Even this pre-market, we got a little bit of flirting going on with that. Maybe that can mean something if it does come back down below the VWAP here in the pre-market and also during the market open. Below the previous day close at 151. I just want to mark down this one more level here over our around 150, which, by the way, we know how Apple likes to hang out around 150. It has used that in the past as as support or resistance. So we definitely want to mark that level down if we do head down there. Last but not least on my list is NVIDIA. And NVIDIA's probably got the best daily of them all because if you notice here, we gapped up. We created that resistance a couple of days back. We dropped down quite a bit to 224. And now we're back at that in the last two trading days, Thursday and Friday, slamming against this area of resistance one more time. So I do like their daily here. Can they get the momentum to break out of that? That is going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. So 239.72 high of the pre-market and the low of the pre-market 236.72 towards the bottom. Towards the top, man, look at this run here from October, even beginning of the year. We haven't been down here in quite a bit. Above this, we're looking at April and May, not actually April and March timeframe. So if you look over at March of last year, we got a one nice level right here at 246.90. So again, just an incredible run on NVIDIA and many of our tech stocks that that kind of bottomed out a little bit in October, bouncing back real nice today. Oh, not today, but the last couple of weeks. Okay, excellent. Cost spray at a KCO spray says it no longer says free. That was quick if that was changed that fast. I haven't checked it, but that was very nice on the intro membership. All right,
That's
excellent,
it.
guys.
Wait a second. They
I,
changed
I'm
that
I'm I'm actually
already?
gonna go check it for fun. That would be fun if that was changed. I don't think so. But no, no, still free, guys. Still free.
Still free.
Hopefully our T team doesn't make us look bad and change that there. Um, no, they're great. All right, excellent, guys. I think we're pretty much set here. We're waiting for a moderator's list to come out. Right now, I only have Thor, I have Susan, Peter. We have your list. We'll give it a couple more minutes to get everybody else's, and then we will get rocking and rolling today on this Monday to start the week. Guys, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. It does help out the channel a ton. We are sitting right now at 132 likes. We'd love to be around 250 is the number that we like to be at, to hover around. So if we can do that, if you can help us get there, highly appreciated. Other than that, I think we're set. Peter, anything that's on your list that's not on mine that maybe we might look interested?
I mean, there is not a lot that's like sending out big signals this morning. I actually
Mhm.
like these days. I'm not worried by that. This type
Yeah,
of day often is when I find some of the best opportunities on my old standbys. So you'll notice when we
yeah,
get to my list, it's some of the typical sort of large cap stocks that I tend to watch because, they could just move nicely for me. But like we're talking about, right? Keep in mind, Powell is speaking, right, testifying before the House, Senate, and House. I think that's the order. I keep forgetting. Over the next 2 days, but not today, right? That's tomorrow at 10 and Wednesday at 10 a.m. So, the market's going to be lying in wait, especially the big money. You can imagine, right? They just don't want to make any huge moves normally before that type of announcement because you don't want to get caught on the wrong side of it. So again, we
yeah.
don't expect anything, new, really, right? That they should testify towards the intent of the Fed and where they're going. There may be some questions, as we always get, political positioning, about whether they're taking the right actions. Are they doing too much or are they not doing enough? You get that, but I expect him to hold the course. And as long as he sticks to his speaking notes, it should be calm in
It
the
should be
markets.
okay.
It's usually when again, he gets frustrated or goes off script that the markets then go a little bit crazy. So you really need to be aware of that. Again, not for today because it's going to be quiet, but over the next 2 days, if you're in a
Yeah.
trade, right, whenever that happens, it probably won't be right at 10, right? It'll be slightly after as they get started and things get rolling. The markets could make some very strange moves. So just be aware of that. We'll talk about it again tomorrow, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah.
me, that's the big thing. Today, I'm hoping for a good day.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out, my friends. Let's take a look at our moderators list, and a very short list from our moderators today. We only have Thor, Susan, and Peter. So Peter, starting with you, you have AMD, Tesla, Meta. Secondary list, Nvidia and Amazon. And Thor, you're looking at Tesla, Rivian, and BA. Susan will be looking at Tesla and Apple. And here it is, Brian coming in with his list as well: Meta, Baidu, or Baba, either of those two, and then also Tesla and IAA, which I'm not sure which one that is. So
Yeah. What
we'll
is?
love to. Brian always has these little nuggets for us here on
Leave it
his
up to
tickers.
Brian to find something.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this was a very interesting one, down
What the?
6.5 with a very strange pre-market activity. I'm sure he has a
Yeah.
story behind this or something. But yeah, we will see what Brian has to say as we
This
dive into the room here.
uh, this is a it was an acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an acquisition that is supposed to be completed on March 14th. And what is the? Yeah,
Not
I don't
sure.
know. Okay. Well, like you said, it's sort of strange pre-market action. I'd love to know why it's on Brian's list, but it's not doing anything particular at the moment. Who knows? He
Yeah.
often finds great trades out of these things. So do not question one of the masters.
Oh, I don't question him at all. I want to be enlightened by the time he gets on the mic and tells us what we have going on here, which he is up next here in our chat room. Guys over on
Yeah.
YouTube, yes, it is 7 days. For those are asking, the free intro membership is 7 days. You get access to
Yeah.
two chat rooms, which, by the way, today it's a day where our options chat is on.
Yeah.
So we have that going
Yeah.
on.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
and we should mention that. That's my oversight. The options chat room is open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, in sort of in the morning and briefly in the afternoon. You don't have to be a pro. In fact, both Megan and Jared cornered me while we were live, saying, "Peter, we need you in there. Your trading style, actually, and your trading strategies lend themselves well to options. You should know how to trade options." And they're not
there
wrong.
you go.
I just told them, in all honesty, I've just been too lazy to learn it, but I should, and I will take them up on that because hey, an offer to teach, I'll take that. So,
Yeah, yeah,
I have got to just get get myself over there and pay attention to it a little bit more.
yes,
Megan, by
yes.
the way, it was always delightful to meet with Megan and Jared face to face. They're great people. Megan had me eat vegan sushi while we were in California. I got to say, there's a lot more vegans in California as a percentage of the population than anywhere else I've been.
Oh, I'm
So,
sure. I'm sure.
you,
Yes.
you know when you're in the I'm in the elevator and I'm just striking up a conversation with a lady and she's oh, you got a pizza, a vegan pizza. I'm like, what the? Oh, well, you enjoy that anyway. But I was on my way to eat vegan sushi, so what am I to say? Anything. But I was getting scotch glasses for my room so that we could have some Japanese whiskey. So, but anyways, I have to say, vegan sushi. I don't know what was in it. I have no idea. It was delicious. It was absolutely fantastic. So, I can't say that we ate poorly. It was very good.
Very nice, very nice. Glad to hear that, my friend. Over on YouTube, guys, stay safe today. We'll see you guys tonight on the onboarding class. Oh yeah. So as we mentioned, for the 7-day free trial, you can sign up right now on our website. You also get access to those two chat rooms: the main chat room, the options chat room, and you get an onboarding class tonight as well. That is going to be live, plus a couple of courses that you can start taking to see what the environment's like, and yeah, take advantage of it. It's a really good way to find out if this community is right for you. Guys, stay safe. I will see. Oh, here it is. Before we let you go, Eamon coming in with his list, potential long on AFRM, AFirm. And yeah, there you go, guys. Have a great trading day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody. Have a great day.